Hey everybody, I just wanted to say I love you. I'm swinging on a bench swing. I'm outside getting grounded in front of a lake watching, well, I did watch the sunrise and it wasn't here. It was right before I came here, but because sometimes you just have to catch it when you're at that where you can even just pull over sometimes, depending on what your situation is, but I want to go for a hike today, so watch the sunrise, and then I'm now over here just grounding. Yes, I'm on a bench swinging, making this video, but I was sitting on the ground, grounding. And I'm going to go back and do that a little bit more. But I feel pretty amazing today, and I realize, so we had a massive pole shift in the last 2 days. And so with that, I feel... So my internal compass is completely aligned with the universe. And so when I feel any kind of shift or change, anything at all, I feel it. And that is at a collective level or a universal level. I know that sounds a little crazy, but I'm not here to convince you. But I feel that shift, I feel that change. And so approximately 2 years ago, we had a pole shift, and that turned our axis 8 degrees counterclockwise, which was north. But you have to think upside down, so we were actually moving towards our south node, okay? The last 2 days, we had another pole shift, and we moved 12 degrees clockwise. So this time we're moving south, which is actually, again, upside down, our north node. So where the sun starts in the east, this is what we call the pendulum swing. We moved 8 degrees counterclockwise, again, towards the north, our south node, and now we swung back, or now we have switched and shifted 12 degrees towards our north node, which is facing south. So now when you look at the sun, it is no longer, again, started in the east. Then when we had that first pole shift, it was in the northeast, and now when you watch it rise, it's in the southeast. And so that was 12 degrees that we shifted clockwise, which means we are now 4 degrees into our true north node, which collectively, yay, this is true evolution and revolution. This is like, okay, we came out of low Earth orbit approximately 5 years ago, and that's when the whole Earth started shifting. That's why 2020 happened, and that's why all these ascensions and all these spiritual awakenings started happening, which ascending and spiritual awakening are actually separate. And the way you can tell the difference is ascending is your consciousness, so your intelligence. And so the whole earth, or collectively, we are all raising, coming out of low earth orbit, shifting our consciousness, so we're becoming more intelligent. In some cases it is a little bit more aware, but not all. You're just increasing your intelligence. So your third eye is opening, that veil is thinning. Awakenings are different. You are still ascending in consciousness. Third eye is opening, becoming, more intelligent, but your spiritual awakening is becoming more aware. So it means that your sensitivity is increasing. And so if you think about, we are all like little walking antennas. The more you become spiritually awakened and more consciously aware, in conjunction of ascending, raising your intelligence, that is where the collective is. And so with these pole shifts, when we first shifted to our south node, that's chaos, okay? Think of it like the ego. Okay, we were facing our shadows, we are facing our dark night of the soul, and that's where collectively we all had all this chaos, and it's still going on. But last 2 nights, we are now towards our north node, which is our true universal alignment. And so we are now facing, we always have a hornet that joins us. As long as you be nice and don't sting me, because now you are on, nope, not on my hand. But I realize you just have to talk to them, give them high vibrations, and then they don't sting you. They just crawl all over you and fly off. So, with that, we shifted now 4 degrees, well, 12 degrees total, so back the 8 and then plus 4 more, so 12 degrees total, now in our north node alignment. So that's our true universal path and alignment. So what that means is we are now calibrated back to our heart space. The pendulum swung, and it went from all the way south node, now back to north node, and now we are in our north node position by 4 degrees in. So incredibly exciting. This is, when this happens, you know, I have to think, is this personally or is this collectively? But it's, the thing is where I get this information is internal, so it's my internal compass, but it is by what I see from the sun. So I tell my time by the sun, and I tell the axis of the earth and the rotation and the south or north node shift based on the sun, and also the ascension based on the sun. So literally everything in my intelligence is based from the sun. So when that happens, we are now in our north node, and that is why we are getting bombarded with light codes and solar flares. Okay, it is not a coincidence. As we go through this rotation and this change and this ascension, we are getting closer to the sun, which is why we are receiving more solar flares. So that is not coincidence. That is physical, actually happening in our experience. So when that happens, that is what's causing all these solar flares. And these solar flares are getting bigger because we keep changing in access, and like we're ascending higher, getting closer to the sun, but we're also changing our pole shifts and our axis of the rotation of the earth. So when we do that, that happens internally too. So that is both. That is me personally and my internal compass picking up this information, but again, it's collectively, universally, you know, the entire earth, every single human, every single living anything that has a nervous system. Okay, again, we are like walking antennas. So looking at the sun, you know, that's where I get my universal alignment to the universe. I guess I just repeated myself. My universal alignment. That's where I can tell where we are at. So we are facing north node, which is actually south, and we are 4 degrees in. So that means that is going to trigger more. Okay, again, when we are facing south node, I gotta hurry, we're almost out of time. That was chaos. So now that we are now in our north node, 4 degrees in, this is going to start resurfacing memory, because we're still ascending. We're still, you know, having the cellular release. But for myself this morning, I actually had a cellular release in regards to my first 5 years. Actually, first 5 years. But what I resurfaced was actually a very positive memory. But I'm going to have to make a second video on that. So I will see you soon.